Tough climate, obviously. I think in this class, as opposed to the last two, you probably had a little bit less playing time. How big of a factor is that? Is the depth chart? I mean, how much do guys look at that?
It depends. You know, I think nobody thought we would get CP because of what we have coming back. But you know what I found? Great players don't care who you have because they have confidence in their abilities. And I tell our guys, you know, we're going to have great players every year. And if you're scared to come in and compete, you don't need to be here. You need to go to some other school. And I also say to be a great team, you need a lot of great players. And I sell that to our team. And they do a great job of recruiting because of that. Because you can be selfish and be you know, an offensive lineman, and when another offensive lineman comes in as a recruit, you do a bad job of recruiting. I used to do that. I'm just kidding, all right? You know, because you don't want them to come in and beat you out. But that's not how it is. When you're a good team and a lot of good players, I mean, that's what it takes to be a champion.
Derek, with Patterson and the volume of receivers that you signed, is that, you know, further indication of where you want to go with the offense and, you know, Tyler's playing his strength?
I don't think so, because we signed 3 running backs. We signed another tight end. So what we're trying to do is get a lot of playmakers and depth, because we can't have an injury and the whole season goes south. We got to have a lot of good football players. Same at quarterback. You know, we got 3 guys who we believe in. Got a lot of receivers, got a lot of tight ends, especially at the skills level. I mean, and it reared its ugly head last year. You lose one guy here, one guy there, and your whole season's done. You lose one guy in the back end, you can't cover anybody. Got to have a lot of good football players to win in this league, because other teams get injuries too. And you can't go blaming every year on an injury. You got to go put the next guy in and go win. So that's what we were trying to do.
Derek, when you think about wide receivers in this class, obviously your mind goes straight to Corral, Patterson, but you know, you got 3 high school All-Americans as well. Can you talk about those guys?
Yeah, well, they all bring different skill sets, and you know, wideouts come in all shapes and sizes, and some can do things others can't. I think, you know, I'm not going to speculate on what they're going to look like next fall, because you guys know how I am. I don't try to build these guys up because I don't know what they're going to look like in the fall. I got to get them in here and develop them, coach them, and see what they can do. And we'll see how they play when the lights come on. But we feel like we have a pretty quality class at that position.
Can you talk about the running backs in this class? You feel like you're dynamic enough there? Yeah.
I feel like we sign guys we think will be. We won't know how dynamic we are. I mean, you know, you watch the film.
Sure. I
mean, there's not many more out there at running back who are more dynamic than what a couple of these guys are. So, you know, Alden was our first running back commitment, and he brought size that I felt like we didn't have coming back. Then we signed Q, who's got some explosive qualities that not many guys have. He's incredibly fast. I mean, he's a 10.5 100-meter guy, state champion almost in track, and he also brings return ability, which, you know, we only had 1 returner last year, and y'all forget that. And he went through a little period where he's getting hit around. You got to have a lot of guys at a lot of positions, and he can do some things in the backfield when you get him the ball in space. And then, of course, Devontae, to me, is that all-purpose, every down, big. He's fast. He's got great instincts. You know, now how all those 3 guys will help us, only time will tell. They're all going to get a great opportunity to help us, as will the guys on our roster, who are going to be a year older, more mature, more seasoned. We'll see how it plays out.